How it looks like to play against the chess master. So on the round 7th, I played against the 2400 rated international master from France. I started with d4, knight on f6, c4 and c5. He played against Benoni, which I really did not expect as he was playing a lot of variations, but I played d5 here. I was really curious how he would continue. e6, knight c3, takes, g6, knight on f3 and d6. Well, here it was really interesting to calculate the variation of d6, which was really hard to see actually, even though engine was saying that this would be a really big advantage for me. It's still complicated. For example, after queen b6 in order to take this pawn, or knight c6, he would get extra pawn. I would get some kind of compensation with it, but it's still very hard to go through this variation unless you know it very well and you have it deeply calculated or prepared before the game. So I played here knight on f3. That's why, guys, engine is really important to analyze games at openings. But when you play a game, you look at it as a human. So it's very hard to see some stuff what engine says. So that's why if we don't make top engine moves, we should forgive ourselves. d6 and bishop g5. Here are different kind of variations like e4, knight d2, etc. But I decided to play bishop g5. He played bishop g7 and knight d2. Again, here's other kind of variations, but I decided to play knight d2 and he castled. Seems like it's a mistake because here would be much better to play e4 as to get center, start attacking e-file, but I'm not really sure why I did not do that. I would say that I was a bit scared as my opponent was more than 300 rated higher than me, and if you are not fully in shape and focused and also a bit lucky, it's not easy to play against them. But, well, we create our own luck in chess, so I played knight c4. Which was not the best decision here because I just simply give him good play after knight d7. As after knight d7, he wants to play knight b6 to attack my knight, and after a3, he just plays knight b6, which is absolutely great move as it attacks pawn on d5, and either I have to take on b6 or play knight on a3 to avoid trading these knights. And if I would take here, I did not really like because either he could have taken with pawn and open a file or take with queen, and it's just worse position for me. So knight on a3 was fine move here, but here already my opponent got really good game in the opening and he played h6. That's how chess international masters are different compared to other players as they see what mistakes you make and they easily use it. So if you give them even small chance, they will use it very well. Of course, there are many times that they make mistakes and they don't win this kind of games, and personally I made a draws or won this type of games, but usually when opponent is way higher rated than you, it's not good to make even small mistake because you might end up losing the game. Bishop h4 was mistake. I was looking to take on f6, but I really did not like after queen takes on f6, I would give pair of bishop advantage, but I think it was only choice because after bishop h4, there's g5, which is literally attacking this bishop, and after bishop g3, I did not see this brilliant move. My opponent just played excellent move, which literally shocked me, and this is what we expect from international masters, as it was really unexpected. Seems like just sacrifice of piece, but actually it's not like this because after knight d5, if I would take with queen d5, there's just bishop e2 and my position is just simply collapsing. So I can't really do anything here. So that's why I played here knight c4 to protect this pawn on b2. So he played here bishop e6 and I'm already losing this game as my opponent has extra pawn and I have not even castled. Queen d2, b5, knight on a3. It is an inaccuracy, but after knight d6, he would just play f5 probably. So I don't really see anything good continuation here. Next is f4 to simply attack this bishop on g3. Knight on a3 and a6, protecting pawn on b5. Calm continuation, bishop e2 and c4, which is excellent move. It's just simply pushing the pawn and trying to take big space, as black has already extra pawn and really active pieces. Rook c1 and queen on f6, attacking my pawn on b2 and b3. c3 and queen d1 is absolutely lost. I'm just trying to do my best to continue playing and maybe I would get some chances for a draw, but it's very hard against such higher rated players. Knight b4, knight c2, knight takes c2, and queen c2. Well, after rook on a2, I was looking rook b1, and I was looking that I might get some chances here as this knight would be trapped, maybe attacking pawn, but it still would be lost. Knight c2, queen takes c2, and d5, just pushing the pawn and etc. Bishop d3, rook c8, castle. And look guys, how huge time difference was. Like, this guy was not thinking at all. Like, I had 3 minutes and my opponent had 1 hour and 23 minutes. It's insane. And usually it happens that when I am losing a lot of time when I play much higher rated player, and I need to think and plan better next time and not think as much. So rook e8 and e4. Just not great move, because after I took, there's rook d8 and I dare to play rook d2 here. And unfortunately here I was just trying my best to survive, but simply I can't do anything. They just simply continue playing, and I take queen d4, eventually improving position of these pieces. b5, b4, protecting pawn on c3, f3, just try to play bishop f2, a5. It seems inaccuracy, but it's good move because it pushes pawn on a4 next, and that's what, like, once they want to create another passed pawn. So that's why they play a5. I played bishop f2, just try to attack this queen. I don't know actually what I'm trying to do, but I really didn't want to resign here because I wanted to fight. So he played queen d6, I played h3, not to lose this pawn, bishop e5, queen e2. Idea was to play here queen on e2. And he played a4. That's great move. Just simply, if I would take, he would just simply take on a2, which literally happened because I did not have any other option than just take on a2. He took on a2, and I can't take with queen because there's just queen d3, and that's immediate loss. So a5 and b3. And I play a6 to push this pawn, c2, and bishop f3. Well, even if I would take on bishop c2, is absolutely lost. Like, just take, and that's lost. So bishop f3, bishop d4, and bishop c1, and queen on h2. Just, he played the really big accuracy. Like, almost what he's doing is #1 moves according to engine. So queen g1, king d2, and queen c1. Another brilliant move my opponent played. He played the best game probably, I don't know, probably in this tournament. I'm not really sure, but I mean, he did 2 brilliant moves, so it's crazy. b2, king c2, bishop pawn b1, king d2, and queen b4. I was trying my best to survive here as I had this active passed pawn, but well, I can't do anything here. King d1, bishop f3, bishop c2, queen on a4, bishop f3, queen c2, queen e3, queen e2. I don't know, even if he would trade, there's still win, but he didn't want to trade, as probably he was thinking that my king would be close to attack these pawns and maybe this pawn would be strong, and that's why he was trying to find best moment to trade these queens, and I can't do anything. I'm just simply accepting the fate that I'm losing this game. Queen e4, this move, king e2, this move, king d1. I had some little hopes that I would survive, but well, queen on f2, bishop f6, strong move, queen on f1. He's doing his best to trade in the moment when it's best for him. So this time came. Now he traded and played king on f6. This king is so close. King on e5, g3, king on d5, h4, trade, and h5. And unfortunately, I can't go with king to attack this pawn. And if I would play f4, there would be f5, and it's still lost, as after king e2, there's king e4. And after king d2, bishop h7, and then I resigned because next moves are just king on e5 and take these pawns. I'm feeling a bit sad about this game, as of course there was some chances, but it's very hard to play chess in general, and to make the first moves is really hard. But I am happy that I got really good lesson out of this game, and especially in opening, and I will do my best to improve with it. And also it was really great experience to play against international master more than 2400 rated, which is not that much common for me, and I will learn from it. You should learn from your losses, it's so important. And if you liked the video, make sure to give a thumbs up and subscribe my YouTube channel, and let me know in the comments who is the highest rated chess player you have ever played in your life.